Oh, hi.
Sorry that the time for this changed a million times. All my fault.
All good, all good. Just excited to finally chat with you about everything and have back to our regular scheduled programming. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
yes.
And I love your sweater, by the way. It's so cute.
Oh, thank you. I forgot I had this honestly, and I was like, what have I not worn on stream before? That I was like, I found it. I like this.
I know I have my TVA Loki.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
favorite.
that one's pretty cool.
Oh, also Gort was
Oh.
here this morning. I'm so sorry.
We appreciate that you were here. Hopefully you could catch the replay.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Untouchable. So we have some really fun things that we're chatting about.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hey.
And we're going to be showing off some comics that we've been reading also later and some really cool things that we've picked up. Let's get into, let's see. Here we go. We're going to start with our geeky gossip. And one of the first things that we're going to chat about is are the Disney Lego sets, not ours. I want one though, so bad.
I love it so much. Oh, hey. Thanks for watching.
So the Disney Lego set for Disney 100 that they're coming out with is a Walt Disney tribute camera, which I think is so fun. I just love that it has the film strip. That is something that I really like. And it's pretty affordable for, I think, the kind of unique design that it is. It's $100. And a lot of the Disney Lego sets that are bigger like this have been a little bit above that price point. So I'm really pumped that this is going to be on like the lower end, but also so unique. What do you think, Candace? Because you have a Mickey Mouse sweater on, so I'm gonna say
I hate Disney. No, I went to I didn't hear about this one until you showed me and you texted to me. I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I really love it, especially because it's all the classic Disney. If you look like closely on like the film strip, like I was looking through like which movies they were showing, which is like I think there's like Alice in Wonderland, Jungle Book, ones like that. And then you get all those little mini figures too, which is super cute. So of course,
you get Bambi and Dumbo. I love the little Dumbo, even though Dumbo was truly, both of those were like really sad and depressing Disney films.
Yeah, for some reason, all of the really first like animal movies always depressing. I don't know how many times I had to watch Bambi in like grade school. Like substitutes would just like put it on and I'd be like, why
is anyone putting that on?
I mean, it's definitely not my favorite like movie whatsoever. Plus it's just very traumatizing. So but yeah, isn't it cool?
I can't wait to buy this.
Apparently when I was looking at the sets too, like you can put like Walt or I guess whoever like in the camera. I don't know.
That's really cute.
I guess it's like there's maybe like a hatch on the back. And then I don't know. I'm guessing that's like a whole separate piece is like that whole bottom area. Yeah, I think that's like separate from the camera. Wasn't sure if it's like one of those things where like you could attach it to the camera. But yeah, so that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I really love this. I want to get this and pair it with the Disney Villains icon set, which I do have and I'm still finishing, just because that also is like the classic icons and has like VHS tapes. So I think it would be really cool kind of next to each other, or like, you know, on a shelf above, and kind of just be like a whole Disney thing.
Yeah.
Some other ones that they are coming out with is the Peter Pan and Wendy's Flight Tower of London, Flight over London, and it has like the iconic clock tower from Peter Pan, and then the one on the left is Disney 100 Year Celebration, which that one was actually a freebie that they were giving out. I think, I don't know, you spend a certain amount of money and then you get it for free, but that ends today, Candace?
That's what I was reading. I like don't know 100%, but yeah, that might be the case. But I'm sure like maybe you'll be able to find it elsewhere. I'm hoping.
I doubt it because I was reading I'm like on Facebook groups with like Lego people.
Yeah.
And they were saying that a bunch of like the Lego stores were like selling out. So I am not surprised. People love Disney and people love Legos. You put those two together, and this is such a fun freebie that I could see people just kind of like running to the stores and trying to
so
get this.
You might have to find it secondhand. But what I also thought was cool is I showed that top frame because you actually apparently can use it as like a photo holder. I thought that was really unique.
That is so precious. Oh, thanks, Miss So, for stopping in and saying hi.
I mean, you definitely didn't miss anything this morning. We did a later show today.
This is all Candace's creation, the slides.
Thank you. Using my graphic design skills for something. Just kidding.
I really like the Peter Pan and Wendy's flight as well. I think that's such a cute little iconic scene. I love that the way that they're showcasing Disney 100 is like through these kind of scenes where you're having them really highlight and cherish like the classics that have really captured our hearts. So I thought that was really fun, even though, again, Peter Pan, not one of my favorites, but I don't think I've seen it, honestly, in years. So I kind of want to revisit it and just see how it holds up. Though I know it has a lot of, like, problematic aspects to it because, you know, older Disney.
Yeah, a lot of the older ones do. But yeah, what I really like about this set is just like I like the monochromatic like blues. I think that's really pretty, and of course, like since it's at night, that makes sense. Yeah, I saw this one. I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you can maybe find like someone can find like other minifigs of like the rest of the kids, that would be really cool. Since it's only them 3, but yeah, I thought I love that they're doing the classic ones as well. Plus me and Haley have been collecting the Disney minifigs.
Yes,
I don't know if she's completed her set yet, but
I haven't. I'm missing a few, but the ones I'm missing, I kind of don't care if I have or not. Like I'm not a completionist like that, so I was totally okay with like stopping, and by like stopping, I'm like shy of like maybe 3 out of like the whole set.
Which
so there's still like rows of minifigs on my shelf.
Which I'm sure at least one of those you gave to me.
I think I gave you a couple, so I was happy to pass them off. Hi there, Heat Industries.
Hey.
Oh, it's Untouchable. Hi. I was like, but yeah, these Disney Lego sets are great. I kind of thought that, not that they were done with them, but we got the Villains Icon set. We got a Disney castle, or we're getting another Disney castle, and a lot of Little Mermaid stuff, mostly less for Disney 100, but for the Little Mermaid film. And so I wasn't sure that they were going to do any more kind of Disney 100s, but I really like what they're coming out with.
And I think both of not the Disney, of course we said that the limited one is done today, but the other 2 I believe I saw that they were coming out in September.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Which will give me some time.
And then
I finished my icon set.
They've been coming out with a lot of those like brickhead ones too. I think I showed you some that were like of the little companions and things. So there's plenty, and I'm sure there's still a couple that they haven't announced. So I'm excited.
Next is Grimace's birthday video game, which was Candace's pick. So please tell us more about this, because I thought this was wild.
This is like the second time for Geeky Gossip that I'm talking about McDonald's.
Candace really loves McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Mostly because I grew up with all of the McDonald Land characters. So this was kind of a wild thing. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen that to the month of June, which of course, now we just hit July, but they had like a limited time, I guess, food items that were in celebration of Grimace's birthday, which apparently he turned 52 this year.
Wow.
52 years young. And they did like a whole promotional thing. Like there was like certain food items you could get, but the biggest thing that came out was like this purple shake that I did not try. I don't know if anybody knows, like, was it actually like a berry flavor? Like that's what I've been wondering. Like I was thinking so, but yeah. I mean, I really like that it's purple, of course, because I like my purple. But That was like one thing that they had. But then I was like I guess scrolling through YouTube, and I saw that someone was playing a Game Boy Color game of Grimace's birthday, but they were like referring to it and it was a new game, and I was like very confused. I was like, wait, they're making Game Boy Color games? What? So I like looked it up, and I found this website, which is completely legit, by McDonald's, that is grimacesbirthday.com. And you can either play access, of course, desktop or mobile, and you can play this game that it basically looks like a Game Boy Color game. And the first frame we have here is the desktop version, because I kind of wanted to show you like how they designed it, which was like, a nod to like the 90s with like all like the really bad website designs and like
I love it so much.
and like GIFs and things like that. But if you play it on your phone, which is what I have like on the right image, it actually will look like Game Boy. And I actually like started playing it. Of course, like it's something I can't save it because it's on my phone, but it was actually like function just like playing Game Boy Color.
That is so fun.
It just feels weird though, because like you're playing on your phone, it's like the buttons are flat, of course, so it's like you're just hitting like, I don't know, but I thought it was fun. Actually, like some parts were a little challenging because like if you don't jump, he doesn't jump a certain way, he like falls over and hits like he can't get up, and then I'm like I'm just like, oh man. But it's really fun, and it's free. I mean, even though it's July, I checked today and it's still running and everything. Those like frames in the middle are just actually like some of the art that's like in the intro storyline, which honestly is just about celebrating Grimace's birthday. And
so
I guess
cute.
he has to locate all of his friends, and he can collect his purple milkshakes. So I thought that was really fun. And I mean, yeah, anybody can play it now, and that's like the website you can go to. I recommend playing it on mobile, but you can play it on desktop as well if you don't want to. Also, I know there is a ROM going around that you can actually, if you download it wherever, you guys can look, but you can actually play it on like a Game Boy Color or some kind of video game device.
That's really cool.
I thought that was cool. But yeah, just a fun thing. I love my McDonald's characters, so I thought that was really cool that they like brought him back. I've noticed that they're starting to bring back a lot of the characters in their marketing. Not Ronald.
They're really going for all of the nostalgia points.
But Ronald's friends, basically. So yeah, just fun.
I really like it. I love that they're trying to obviously tap into a very specific audience of anyone who just like played these games, aka us, with the Game Boy Colors. And so I think this is so fun. I've never been to Brickland Convention. We will have to look into that.
I know. I wonder where that. Oh, outside. Yeah, we'd have to see how far that is from us. That sounds fun though.
And then for my other pick, I chose Nimona, which I actually saw yesterday night, and it was so cute. So I've seen the graphic novels around Barnes and Noble before, and I know it's like a kind of young adult graphic novel, and I really didn't know much about it, but I saw that Netflix had released this film, and it just looked super cute, really fun. I think the messaging in it is really adorable, judging people and being accepted and as an outsider, and it has queer representation, which we love. And awesome. I just love anything that's kind of fantastical, which Nimona very much is. She's a shapeshifter, and she ends up partnering with a knight who is accused of doing some villainy. And she wants to be a villain because she's always been seen as one. And so it kind of just goes from there and their adventure together. I definitely recommend it. It's obviously a family-friendly film, and the animation style is really, really, really cute. So you can find it on Netflix, which is great. You can just stream it for free if you have Netflix.
Yeah, and I haven't read it or watched it yet. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the artist of the comic is the one that did Lumberjanes, I believe. Which
cool.
I could be wrong. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But which I personally never really got into. But I've seen Nimona around for like forever, and I was like, I eventually want to read it, but I I really like the art style that they used for the movie. So I'm definitely I'm gonna check that out.
I'm also really curious because Nimona, I'm pretty sure it's a series. So the way that if it's a series, I'm wondering how much of the movie, just because I haven't really looked into it after watching it. I was more interested in the film than the graphic novels. But I'm wondering if how much of the movie encapsulates of the series. But yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're something for kind of like feel good animation.
Always need that.
Right.
Yay. Okay, so of course my pick was the Stanley documentary on Disney Plus. Hey, Haley, have you watched it yet?
I haven't seen it yet, actually. I also haven't watched Secret Invasion, so I'm a little bit behind on my Disney Plus content right now.
No, wait, we're caught up on Secret Invasion. Yeah, pretty good so far. But yeah, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this yet, but it came out, I believe, last month, and I really enjoyed it. So of course, it's just a documentary about Stanley's life, from childhood to all the way up to, of course, his time in the Marvel cinema and MCU and all that. But I really liked how they did the storytelling. I've seen like probably other documentaries that have covered parts of his life, or maybe just he had a small segment or something like that. But I really liked how they did like the graphics, which actually, as you can see, like in their poster, that's actually kind of how they did some of the like showing like the comics or acting out scenes and things. So there was like these little miniatures that if you see like that little guy on the bottom, they'd actually like kind of do like camera work with these like little figures. I was wondering if it was like CGI
really cool.
or if there was actual miniatures, but it was pretty cool. And then like they would go through like the timeline of his life, and then they would have like different years, and then they would show like footage of things that happened in those years to kind of give you like context. And I really liked it, and just like it had a lot of quotes from him, from like they pulled from different interviews, things like that. But I really liked it because it showed some different aspects of things I haven't seen before about him, as far as like his relationship with his wife, which was really sweet. Kind of getting even more info about how he got into comics in general, and then as like just in the industry, kind of just what it was like. I got a vibe of like what it was like to work for him and things like that. Just kind of how he would give criticism, because for me, like as a creative person, these kind of documentaries are always super inspiring for me, just because like I love seeing how people got into like a creative industry and just learning more about it. I mean, I do graphic design, but I don't know what it's like to be in the comic industry by any means. So like it was just really cool because of course he's a legend. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Yes, you will really like it.
I've seen some of the older documentaries too about Stan. Have you, Candace? And if so, like, do you feel like this like really sheds a lot more light on Stanley, or did you feel like you kind of knew a lot of it just because if you had watched any of the other ones?
I'm really trying to remember if I've watched something else. I know I've read. There's this one. I think it's where it's like an autobiography. I don't know if I think he might have wrote it. Because it was out a long time ago. But there is this graphic novel that came out that was like literally it was a comic of his history, which was really good. Highly recommend. I'll have to share it with you later. But that one was really good, and I feel that was like the first time I really learned a lot. But of course, like it's just even more easily digestible, and it's really cool to just hear like sound bites and see old footage of him too. Like when you see him like super young, it's like doesn't even look like the same man. It's just wild. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was like really feel good, really inspiring. It made me like even just like him even more, because sometimes like you can even hear about people that are we look up to and things, and like you can hear like, okay, yeah, they made this, but they weren't always the greatest person, things like so it's really like I don't know, I really liked him, just like how they portrayed him and everything. Also, fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but I actually I think it was C2E2 like years ago. I actually saw him from afar. That was my only experience ever. I mean, I never got to meet him, unfortunately.
No,
but
neither did I.
I remember walking past him on like a stage, and that was my only memory. But still pretty cool.
My favorite comic book villain is Magneto for sure. And then in terms of superhero, I feel like it changes, but it's like vying for the top spot is like Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, Scarlet Witch, and Dazzler, are like kind of, and Kitty Pryde are like my girls at the top. My favorites. What about you, Candace?
Which you've been a big influence because those are a lot of the ones I like as well, honestly. In addition to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is always one that I've gravitated towards just based on like the relatability and just like the humor. And I mean, that was probably my first Marvel movie I ever watched back in the day. So I'd say, yeah, those a lot of the ladies of Marvel and DC. And then yeah, villains, that is hard.
Yeah, mine's easy because I'm truly
I mean,
obsessed with Magneto.
I mean, Magneto's a pretty good one too. I mean, I love a lot of the classic Spider-Man ones too. Yeah, I mean, it could have been the same one, honestly. Because it was pretty long time ago. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the classic like Spider-Man villains, I would say, are like Doc Ock and Green Goblin and all those. And then what was it? Oh, it's a super power. Ooh. For me, I mean, like I've thought long and hard about this. Just because of like, but I always think of it in more of like a supernatural kind of aspect because I love always those kinds of shows and things. But probably somehow that I can teleport. Like, let me do that so that I don't have to like I can just go anywhere really quick.
That sounds like so much fun. Yes, please.
That or like telekinesis where I can like move things with my mind.
Yeah. You know, I always think like being able to like the like reading telepathy, like that's really cool, but I would actually never want to have that.
Oh no, not that. I'll move things with mine, but I don't want to read people's mind. That's too much. But yeah, I think that was about that documentary. But yeah, I highly recommend it.
Being invisible would be cool. I think about with like invisibility, I would just like love to sneak on airplanes and then travel. But then it's the same thing as like teleporting that in some ways. And just teleporting would be quicker. Yeah. Like that. I'm like, what would I do if I was invisible? Like,
I guess it would be like places that are maybe like
honestly, I'd be
a concert that would cost like hundreds of dollars to get into or something.
So people would go to Taylor Swift's Era concert.
Sure.
I also would live out my dreams of doing a heist then. Like
You've heard it here first.
I love heist films and I'm always like it seems like it'd be so fun to do a heist. But Ocean's 11 it like
I forgot what that show we watched recently that was literally about heists, but I can't remember. I mean, it was like one that you could watch out of order, like the episodes. It was on Netflix.
I know which one you're talking about, but I
did you watch that?
No, I didn't. But
then you would like that one if you like heists.
I would follow a life of crime, absolutely, but I wouldn't be like really bad. It'd be like I want to be George Clooney. You know, like really cool and also really wealthy because I'm just robbing banks.
Just to support her comic habits.
I love it. Magneto is amazing. He's such a great, complex character.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our back issues, which I have to say I did a little bit of reading, but I haven't been reading as much in general. Like comic books. I've been reading a lot of novels recently. Like I've been really deep in my novel cycle, and I've also been playing a lot of Magic: The Gathering.
Yes, she has.
Which has been so fun. Actually, I got my boyfriend into it, and I knew he would like it once he actually started it. But what has been incredibly frustrating is that he got into it in less time than I did. Like I've been like trying to like learn things about Magic maybe for the last month or so. And he's kind of been into it for like the last week and he's better than me at it. Like we've been playing and he's been beating my butt. And now I'm just incredibly salty and I'm incredibly competitive and can be a sore loser sometimes. So now after like getting beat several times over, I'm like, I actually don't want to play with you anymore.
I regret this decision to have you join me.
I know. I was like, actually, this is my thing. Go away. But because of all of that, I haven't been reading as many comics, but I've read a few. But I have more things to kind of show off that I bought. And so they have a starter magic kit at Walmart, and I've been okay. So the starter kits are really fun. I got the Lord of the Rings starter kit because I wanted us to be able to play standard because it's like 60 cards on each deck. Mm-hmm. The more popular format to play in currently, it seems like, is Commander. And so starter kits are different than Commander decks or pre-constructed Commander decks, which you can find at like Walmart and Target. I bought both because I wanted to learn how to play both formats. Standard is really cool, is a lot easier in some ways, or maybe not a lot, but the Commander is super, super, super fun. That typically is played with like 3 to 4 players, though my boyfriend and I have been playing Commander one-on-one to just try to get a feel for it. There's more politics involved if you have more players, but it is interesting to kind of like learn it and play. But again, I am still very much learning, and I'm getting my butt handed.
She's trying to drag me into it too.
I absolutely am. It's so fun. I have not tried D&D, but I've heard it's like, you know, a lot of people have who play Magic like really enjoy D&D because there's like a lot of like storytelling and stuff.
I feel like I would get Magic better than D&D. I feel like that's just a whole other
Magic has been super fun. So you can play Magic alone in the sense that you can play Magic Arena. So like the starter decks, like if you get a starter kit, those starter decks have codes in them, and the code can be played on Magic Arena, and so you can upload that deck, and so they'll take you through like the tutorials of how to play Magic on Magic Arena, and then you can play people online, and you can play people online for free. So Misso, if you ended up doing it and wanting to play, we could play Magic online together. There's a few people in the community who I have on my Magic Arena. So that way
that's fun.
I get a feel for it. And then on Magic Arena, you play standard. I'm not sure if you can play other formats, but possibly. And there's this thing called Spell Table, I think, which is kind of like you're streaming your Magic, and you can play almost like Zoom Magic with friends that you have if you wanted to, in like virtual. You guys are not close. So I've been thinking about setting that up just so I could play some of my friends who don't live in Chicago. So yeah, all of that is to say, I have a stack of comics that I want to show, and some things that I've got. And I know that Candace and I read Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord. And other than that, I can go through things that I bought. Or Candace, you can talk about some things that you've been reading.
Oh yeah. Well, not to flex, but we're obviously not going to talk about all this, but I honestly am kind of proud of how much I read since the last time we did
You should be. I mean, I have not touched the comics, and you've read all of that?
This,
oh my God.
Plus this.
Okay, I'm just jealous now. Now I want to read all of my comics and beat your stack the next time we do a show, because I definitely need to be reading my comics. But that I also haven't been buying as much for the simple fact that I have not been touching them and reading them, except for Deadly Class, because I've been doing a show with JP and Bearded Comic Bro and Gore. So definitely catch that on JP's channel, because Deadly Class is fantastic.
Okay, I tried to narrow it down of what to talk about here. So
that was literally 100 comics. I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know, actually. Maybe.
I'm impressed. I love this for you.
I'll count them later for you so that you can see if you're right. But yeah, I guess I will. Okay, so one that I wanted to talk about was I actually finished the series, the mini-series, was the Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill tour, which I feel like I got this forever ago, and I read the first issue, and then for some reason I dropped off. Like that just happens with, I read something and then don't finish it. So then I actually, once I really got into it, I was like, finish this finally. I've had it way too long. It's only 6 issues. My God, you can read it. So I did, and I have all 6 issues, which I think I definitely want to get a trade for this.
It really would take you years to read that.
It can be done.
I've been trying to. This is my dad. I've been trying to get him to read his comics, because he has some really good ones, and he has one written by Tom King. So,
Tom King's good.
Exactly.
But one thing I really liked about this series was that first of all, the illustration. I forget their first name, but it's their last name is Saren, which is actually did work for one of my favorite series that I've actually read the whole thing, was Giant Days. Have you ever?
Yeah. I have not read Giant Days, but I'm pretty sure I have at least one Giant Days issue. I think issue 1 in my indie collection, just because I remember when I was like really into those kind of comics, I like picked up just to like test it out. So I haven't read it, but I like the illustration, and I think my favorite thing about that specific miniseries is like the artwork. I mean, I haven't read it just because so much, but you make me want to read it.
You really should. And it's only 6 issues, but I really liked it. It's kind of like a companion basically to the animated series, which I still have not watched to this day, and I've been sleeping on that one, but I really want to now, because once I finished the whole series, it actually said like, hey, what's to see what happens next, watch it on HBO, like season 3 now. And so I was like, okay, I guess I have a lot to like catch up on, because I don't know, like prior to this first issue, if maybe someone that's actually watched it and read it has like they know this, but I don't know if they're like, if I would actually get more context by watching the show. I mean, it's not like a very, very deep plot or anything, but it starts off with them, like Harley and Ivy being like on the run, because Ivy, I guess, was supposed to get married, and then she left whoever at the altar, and then they go on like a cold car trying to get away from like Commissioner Gordon. I don't know, just like it's Harley and Ivy, so it's like, of course, shenanigans ensue. But I actually really just loved like finally reading about their relationship. Like I really just loved them together, and
that's what's the most compelling to me about Poison Ivy and Harley. It's just like wanting to read some DC is like them together. Like,
yeah, because it actually like showed them like work through like problems and things like that, and like because of course anyone we know Joker is just very toxic with Harley, so of course like just seeing that kind of relationship where they actually like work through their problems and things like that, like I don't know, I just really love them together and like want to read more with them. But yeah, I mean, it was also cool because a lot of like there's some other characters like Selena Kyle's in there.
Oh, I love it. Those covers are so cute too.
Make sure you guys just remember covers. The funsies here that I have. Really cute.
Oh, no. Oop. Let me stop presenting this. There we go.
Yeah, just like them at dinner. I am blanking who. Oh, there we go. I'm blanking who this is.
Oh, I could not tell you.
I read it and then now I can't remember. Oh my God, this one kills me.
That's adorable. I love it.
I also have some of these ones. And then I
so
do this variant too, which is
that Zatanna or is it? Ooh, that one is who's the artist for that cover? That one's really cool.
I'm trying to remember. I know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember. But that was, of course, that was the one I actually bought 2 issues. Oh yeah, you're right. That is Zatanna.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know much about them, but I feel like
No.
when I started getting into comics, they were already together. So I
Yeah.
think that's been really cool to see.
Yeah, you're right. That is Zatanna, which I actually have been reading digitally. I've been reading some more Zatanna, which like I think I read about her in like a single issue that I maybe talked about on the show before. But I really like her stuff because she's a magician and like with actual powers, and like of course that's like totally my vibe. How much would you?
For I would say for me, I don't even spend money on comics a week anymore. I used to. I want to say like especially during the pandemic, I was probably like I was trying to keep up more with weekly comics, but at
Yes.
this point I have so many comics that I haven't read. And because I'm not someone who just reads comics, I'm like, I read so many books and I'm like cycling through.
Same.
I like, for the most part, I still have a pull list that isn't too big. That's at Challengers Comics. But I try to really like limit myself to like only a handful of titles, just because at this point I don't want to be spending money on comics weekly. But I think I was spending like probably $30 a week on comics at one point. And I was like, that is way too much money because when you think about it weekly, you're just like, oh my
God. Oh yeah, I know. I haven't been doing weekly either. But I was the same. I think when I joined the comic community, especially, I was just like, well, there was news to me about it just being like that it came out weekly because I never realized that until like joining the community. And then I was like, because it was the pandemic, I kept ordering comics too. So I'd be like ordering from like my comic shop every week, which is also that's shipping, so don't recommend that. But so I was like, yeah, that added up a lot. But now maybe if I go to like my comic store like after work. I mean, the only thing I did go like last weekend over the 4th of July weekend to like my really really local comic shop and bought a bunch of stuff. But otherwise, actually, I'm trying to think how bad it was. I like went to Half Price Books to get like dollar issues, which yeah, that was
it can be like it can add up. Like that was I went did a sale with my dad at Graham Cracker, and I spent like $70, and it was like 50% off of back issues.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is like $2. But I got such a big stack, and then I went to the register and was like, how did I spend $70?
Yeah, so it really depends.
But
I've been trying to be better. I really have. Especially like reading our back issues for this show has really helped too. Like actually like, okay, I need to read like what I have.
I need to be better. Hi,
Sheeta. Did you want to show anything, or do you want me to kind of keep going?
Yeah, I will. I think this will be fun to show. So one of the other girls that I love is Gwenpool. And I picked up a really cool Gwenpool issue from a community member. So International Comics.
That's right. She showed me this one.
It's unbelievable. Gwenpool. It contains issues 5 through 10, an exclusive cover by Giru. I love their artwork, and I love this so much. And I've been wanting one of the Japanese Gwenpool, especially with the Giru artwork. I love that you have like Miles's mask.
Oh, nice.
And this I think it's called an obi is still on it. And it's super thick, so it's almost like it's a trade. And yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Really cool.
It's so cool. And I'm really excited to have it in my collection. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any. No, I don't think I have any foreign comics yet. I'm hoping to maybe get some from my family in Mexico. I'm hoping, but
that'd be really cool.
That is something that I actually really do want. And also just because I want to actually be able to read my comics in Spanish. I think that'd be cool. Ooh. Okay, so that's like a belly band on it, or?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So it's like the first volume or something, or do you know?
No, it's like probably volume 2 because it's issues 5 through 10, and so this kind of comes off.
Okay, that's wow.
And it has this inside cover wrap around.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, so it's hardcover then?
It's a still soft cover, but it has like these French flaps.
Okay. I see. Yeah, that's really cool. I just
wrap
like that
around
it just looks different than anything that we have.
And then it's in Japanese.
It's so cool.
Which is really, really awesome. And it even has like, what is it? Just like slip, and it talks about like the panels. I have no idea obviously what it says.
You know what I wonder if you really I know there's like translators that you can like take pictures of the text and like it'll translate it for you. I'm wondering if like you could do that with that.
Well, I think it's the same comic just in Japanese of the Gwenpools that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would be able to just like look at those and then be able to like see what it's saying, which will be cool. So I want to do like a compare and contrast to the paneling.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I was really excited about this.
No, I haven't. I don't even know any. Do you have any that you recommend? Because I mean, I definitely want to check that out. That'd be also another good way for me to work on Spanish.
Right.
I would definitely be interested. And if you know a way that I can watch them as well for YouTube or streaming or something. But yeah, I guess we can just keep ping-ponging, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, we always got to talk about Archie. Because, of course, like in that stack, there was like at least 3-4 different Archies. So let me just take this out just so I can show you and so it don't unclear. But what year was this from? Oh, okay. So this is from 2001, and yes, I haven't read it yet. But in 2001, they came out with Everything Archie issue. Is it just a one-shot? Yeah, it's just a one-shot. Which is always kind of funny when they make it like a number 1, but it's only one shot. I don't know. Anyway, but the actual main stories inside are just pretty average, like Archie stories. But one thing that was really fun about it was actually the story that they included at the end. Which, by the way, just the style of these is like your classic kind of like, your classic Archie. So
nice.
Not like any of the modern ones. But let's see. So there was a story that they reprinted in this issue that was from Betty number 46, February of 97. And what was crazy about this is if you read on the back of like the description of what the bonus story is, they say, "Did Archie Comics predict the future?" The story that went viral. Read High School 2021 AD, the virtual school story everyone's been talking about. So this kind of reminded me about how The Simpsons always predict things. But basically what was kind of wild about this was in 97, but it was about 2021. And some of this I guess you maybe could guess. But it was just kind of wild that they picked 2021 of all years, where they actually showed how people were working from home, like they weren't going to school, and how they did like virtual school, which it's hilarious how they depicted here because, of course, they didn't actually know what computers and video cams and things would look like. But so you can see like the box computer and like the big cameras. But they literally show like doing it that way. They have some kind of like a FaceTime thing, which that one, where is it? It's over here. But of course, it's not on a cell phone, but kind of like that idea. I think all the kids go to like a museum that's like in their old high school, and it shows like this is what school was like back in the day, and it's so funny. Let me see. Yeah, like they show like how they did like virtual classes.
Is those flying cars too? So you got about half of it right, and then
I feel like flying cars, like people will be putting that for the future, like until it actually happens.
Until we get it.
Just like what's kind of funny is like I always think it's funny when they show futuristic clothing because it's always you could tell that it was like 80s 90s style, but it was like their version of futuristic fashion. Yeah, it was just like a really fun story, and I was like, huh, interesting. Like I mean, I guess I guess it was something you could guess maybe, but I still thought it was kind of funny, especially since like Simpsons is always predicting stuff, so why not Archie, you know? Yeah, and I don't know how I missed that. Let's see, this would have been I'm not sure when it actually went viral, like the story. Like they must have reprinted it in something.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe it was like someone read an old issue and then shared it. I really don't know because I never heard anything about it until I literally read that like 2 years later. So no. But yeah, so Archie, of course, is always a fun read, and I read like plenty of other Archie.
We're like Zoom education was in Archie.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew? Do you have anything else you want to show?
Another pickup that I got that I am so excited. I got it from Bird City Comics, the Avengers, Rian Gonzalez, Scarlet Witch. I mean, okay, I love Scarlet Witch, but it's so cute. She has Chibi Vision, and then it's just like all of these X-Men characters and Marvel characters. You have She-Hulk, you have Venom. Everything about this Captain America, and then you have I love when they have the characters in the little boxes and they do something different, and I love that.
I love that too.
Scarlet Witch.
And I love how they did like the characters like around the sides where it's like not like where it's kind of just all over the cover. Like they did it in like a really smart way.
It's so cute.
So
oh my gosh.
I know I should have got that.
Oh, hey. Thanks, Geek Out with Osco. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, this cover is probably one of my favorites. I think I'm going to put it on one of my Romany House boxes because I love it. So the one that has my all my Scarlet Witch comics, I'm going to put it.
Then you'll know where all your Scarlet Witch are.
Yes, exactly. Because I redid my organization with Candace and I still don't know where anything is. Something else that I got is this Miss Marvel signed by G. Willow Wilson. I'm so pumped. She had a signing in Seattle and one of my friends was able to get the sign for me there. So I am super, super, super pumped. And now I have a ton of Miss Marvel #1s. This is a third printing, I think. And I love that she put Embiggen on it. So this makes me so happy.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this came out yet because I haven't bought comics in a while. Right. That were like new comics, but I was showing Haley about the Disney 100 one that they did of Miss Marvel, but it was like with
Daisy Duck.
Yeah, I really like that one. No, you don't like it as much.
Didn't love it, but I know how much you love all of the older.
He loves it for me, so.
Yeah. And let's see, I got a few other things. The Batman Long Halloween, I got these with my dad. And so it's the Valentine, it's in 13 parts, and this is issue 5, and it's Valentine's Day. Then I got St. Patrick's Day.
Oh wow, I didn't know that they had like a holiday related one. They're just like the covers or
yeah.
Okay.
And that's issue 6, and I get issue 7, which is April Fool's Day, and it has the Riddler on it.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah, I actually never seen those.
And HBO has an animated, I think either show or movie of Long Halloween. I started watching it. It's really, really cool. And I want to complete the set because the story, I love the artwork in it, and the story is just like really cool. So yeah,
that's on my list definitely. Okay, so let's keep going through my pile. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Because this is a brief one, we honestly might talk about more than 4 for me. But this will be a pretty quick one. Just because I know you read this as well. So So I don't know if it's just because of the Disney 100 that these have been coming out. I'm assuming so. But recently they've been doing a lot of series. Who's the publisher? Dynamite has been doing villain series, which is really cool. They did one for Maleficent and one for Scar recently, and the covers have been like so good. I've been buying like multiple. Well, for Maleficent, I've only got the first issue, but I have like a couple other variants.
I
of the other
have
one, like
several Maleficents.
the VHS one,
I got
David
that.
Nakayama, the ones like that. But yeah, so I finally read this. I don't know like why it took me so long to finally read
The
it.
story's all right. There
yes,
wasn't much that was going on in the first one. I haven't read past first issue, but I want these to be better than they are. But the covers are so good.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed, which is why I kind of had to like, just talk about something that, of course, maybe wasn't as good. But I have hope for it. Hey.
Okay, Pipe Junkie.
So the style inside just did not do it for me. I mean, it's cool, but I just not really. I mean, you guys can probably tell usually my kind of vibe that I go for, but it's like I like it, but then it's kind of really like the covers are just so beautiful, and these are just more of like a rougher art style, I guess. Or which I guess it's a villain.
I liked the interiors. The story.
Yeah. Okay. To summarize the story, it's literally Maleficent, finds this boy, and then he tries to steal her staff. She gets rid of him from the castle, and then he comes back and tries to steal.
It was
and then he gets caught again. Like that's literally like. I mean, would you say that's pretty much how it went? I mean,
that's exactly how it went. Like you have this kid that's like, I'm going to.
Yes, that was literally what it was about.
Steal your staff, and she kind of like gives is like merciful and is like, instead of just like kind of casts him away, so like outside of her castle, and then he comes back and she's like, well, now that you're gonna mess with me again, she's like, here's my wrath, and it kind of just like ends there, I think.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping it picks up, because I'm gonna still buy the covers for the for the covers, just because I of course I love Disney and just the Disney villains, but yeah.
I wish it was more of an origins story that they were doing for this, these comics, because I haven't read Scar, but you said it wasn't that, and I feel like these would be so much more compelling if they were origin stories of the villains.
No, I think Scar was like, I think it was like in between maybe the first and the second movie. I could be wrong. I don't honestly remember. That's how memorable it was for me. But like I think I liked that slightly better, just like the storyline, and I think I even preferred the art a little bit more as well. But it's actually funny. Is like, if you wanted the origin story, I'm gonna bring up that my favorite one again, which Haley still has to read. I'm gonna keep bothering her until she reads it. But Evil Thing by Serena Valentino is she has like a YA novelization that came first, but then they ended up coming out with a comic version of, which is basically a origin story of Cruella de Vil, but not like the Emma Stone one that came out at Disney Plus. It's a whole other thing.
So good though.
And art and story, I honestly loved it. I like flew through it. I read it in like I'm pretty sure one sitting. Yeah, it was just a really fun read, and I really liked those novels as well. So honestly, you might like that better. So.
Oh yeah, I definitely, that seemed like it was just a really well done, and these, I feel like they were phoning it in.
No, I'm hoping there's a chance. Actually, wait, I know Hades is coming out. I don't know if it came out already.
And I want that too, because I freaking love the art on the covers. I feel like really disappointed that the stories are really lackluster so far, because the artwork on the outside, like I would probably buy. It has me really trying to pull myself back in terms of buying covers for subsequent issues, because I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not going to really love the story, then I'm going to just only try to really like hold it off and get maybe one or two covers of the first issue and just kind of like, I don't know, like let it go.
But that's actually probably a good idea. But I'm going to probably give each a couple more issues. Also, this never came out, I don't think, but Ursula was supposed to have a series. I believe it was through Dark Horse, like years ago. I don't know if it was supposed to come out and then we had the pandemic. I don't know. But just never got re-released with them. And then I was like kind of wondering, like, oh, would Dynamite pick it up? But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they don't because I feel like it would have been better with Dark Horse, honestly. But
seriously,
hopefully that will happen because I love Ursula. So I don't care who publishes, but hopefully we get one.
I next for a few of mine, Candace, you'll love these. I got some Betty and Veronica.
Yes.
I got this with Adam Hughes art. I think he does the interiors, right? For this one? Because he's not the cover artist for this one. So he does the interiors, and I thought that was really awesome because Adam Hughes is great. So I got issue 1.
Actually,
and then
I haven't read that yet, that series.
Betty and Veronica Archie Forever.
Oh, I have that one.
Senior year starts here.
Wait,
and
did you give me that one?
I'm not
you
sure.
gave me something.
Probably.
Yes, she got. Oh,
Jughead, The Hunger versus Vampironica.
Actually, I haven't read the crossover. I've read Vampironica Volume 1 and then Jughead, The Hunger. I've read a good chunk of that. But then recently I've been reading, or I still have to finish listening to it, but they, what's it called? Graphic Audio has like audiobooks of graphic novels, which if you guys haven't heard of that, like that's just, it's literally like they describe what's going on in the comic, or you could like read the comic and then listen to it, and there's like sound effects and things. It's, I don't know, it's a fun time actually. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
You
like those.
I'm excited to read them. I'm really excited about the Adam Hughes one. That is super fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's actually I'll show one more because I thought this was really cool. It's Detective Comics and featuring the Night of 1,000 Batmans.
Ooh.
And it has all of the different Batmans, which I love.
I love
it's
it.
Like a kid Batman. Yeah, I love it. It's really thick. So
wait, is that new or old?
It's a 1950s variant cover by Michael Cho. It's for, I think, celebrating Batman 80 years. Cool. It's issue number 1000.
Oh, actually, I think I have the 1000, but it's like I have some other covers. Actually, I wonder if I have a Lee Bermejo one.
Yeah, I am.
Am I
super excited about this? My dad almost got it, and then he was like, "No, I don't think I'm gonna get it." And I'm like, "Sweet."
You're like, "Thanks, Dad."
And the artwork in here looks really cool. I like it at least.
Ooh. If I do have that as a different variant, I should read that too.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it. You have like the Riddler, and it looks like it's a bit of an anthology situation because the artwork's kind of changed. Yeah, so it goes through the decades, and they did variant covers for, I guess, like issue 1000. And so this is the 1950s. And Jim Steranko did the 60s. Frank Miller did 80s. Tim Sale did the 90s. Greg Capullo did 2010s. And Steve Rudd did 30s. And Bruce Timm did 40s.
Oh, there was no Lee Bermejo in there?
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Nice. I like that.
Hi, Bobby.
Oh, hey, Bobby. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to see.
Candace's large stack of comics that
I know. I really tried to narrow this down. Okay, so I also want to talk about excuse me, another DC. Yeah, let's keep talking about DC. I recently read the DC Silent Tales that came up, I think, pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't read this, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so anyone that hasn't read this, it's called Silent Tales because it's all told without text bubbles or text balloons. I forget balloons was fun. But I'm obsessed with the art style. It's totally up my alley, and it's by Gustavo Duarte. And it's one shot 6 stories, and It's really fun. It's just kind of like the I think it's both villains and heroes. Like very mini stories of them kind of going along on their like in their day basically. But as you can see, like there's no text. It's all told with panels, which I think is really fun.
That's really cool.
But yeah, so I think, and of course, then people of all ages and reading levels could read it. I have noticed within the last couple of years that actually like a lot of publishers have been doing like kids comics that have been without text bubbles so that kids could get into comics. I think that's really awesome. I mean, I don't know if that was the purpose of this at all, but I still think it's really cool seeing just proving that comics can still tell a story, of course, with that without having that copy. But it was cool. I had like Joker, Zatanna, my girl again.
Oh, I love that. The artwork seems really, really cool too.
Yeah, and it's a pretty thick issue, but it's like, of course, it's a really easy read. But then I feel like it's something where because you're not reading it, you really, really get to enjoy and appreciate the artwork and kind of that's the only way you're actually, of course, going to tell what's going on. It's like really looking at it. Because, of course, when I'm reading, I feel like sometimes I may, go through it quicker than enjoying each panel to panel. So I think, I think it's a really fun one to just get, and it's unique.
I think that's really cool, and I'm sure it just has to be so fun for an artist to do because they are able to really show the skill of like their storytelling through art.
Yeah, and I tried to look up what other things he did, and the only thing I found was I think he did like a Superman related one, but I can't remember what it was. I just remember that it has I do have it, and it's like a yellow cover, but I haven't read it yet.
Well, that is it for our back issues. However, we want to let you know of some things that we have coming up this week. So July 13th, Candace and I will be interviewing Alex Segura and talking about his new book, Araña Spider-Man 2099, which is a YA Marvel novel, and also chatting about Secret Identity and his sequel that is going to be released, I think, next year called Alter Ego. I've read both and I love Secret Identity. Alex Segura is just such an amazing human, and I'm really excited that we get to chat with him this week. So definitely tune in for that because I think it'll be such a fun show.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that we get to do more creator interviews.
Yeah, that's been a really fun like opportunity for sure. And like he also has done some work on Archie. So we have another one who's worked on Archie. But yeah, this was my first time like really reading his work. And I've been listening to Secret Identity and reading Araña. So it's like it's just been really fun like getting familiar with his work and seeing kind of like the range also. So I'm really excited to talk to him, ask him a bunch of questions.
It'll be so fun. And then if you didn't see, we did our first creator interview with Andrew Petboy, and it was just such a good time. And Candace, I think you just supported the Kickstarter.
I did. Yeah, because I believe there is only like, I think what I saw on his Instagram, there's only 4 more days left of the Kickstarter, although you will be able to purchase the comics at a later date. But if you're interested, first of all, catch the replay of this so you can kind of learn a little bit more of what his newest Kickstarter campaign is about, Simone and Ajax. And then if you want to support the campaign, then there'll be links to that as well, like with the on that video. But yeah, that was a really fun one. And he was another one that he's did a lot of work with Archie, and just was really interesting to like hear his like how he got into comics and, all his experience in different conventions. And I learned honestly so much, not only about him, but just about the industry and things like that. So it was really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to, and it should be next week.
It will be so fun. Well, tune in, watch replays, like and subscribe, and have a good rest of your night.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.